Is it that we're live? It looks like. Yeah. Here's the video intro. And welcome, guys. Welcome to the Hair Wire, the place where you get hair smart. I'm your host, Sergio Cardona, and welcome to another session of Here of the Hair Wire. People, we are excited today. I'm excited. I'm extra excited today. I have feeling extra energy today. And I'm surrounded with some of the best people in the industry, if not the best of the best, the Hair Wire crew. Miss Ann Dipsy, Carrie, Jared, how you guys doing?
Doing
Good,
great.
thank you.
Doing great. Hey, love the hair, Carrie. It's looking amazing every week. I don't know what you're doing, but it's looking great.
Yep.
Meeting all my
Great.
protein.
I like that. I like that. Biz, how about you? How's it going this week?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited because finally I will have more time to focus on the things that I love to do. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited to meet our guest today. I have been stalking her on social media for the longest time. And she just knew that I'm her neighbor. I live two hours away from her.
True.
Really? Wow.
There's a lot of great people here in Florida, so we're gonna have a great meeting over there.
Yes, I think so.
We
Yeah.
need to be doing that. We need to be doing that. Hey guys, today we have a very special guest, our own, very own, and beautiful Elvira. Right? How you doing, Elvira?
I'm doing wonderful, terrific, fantastic, and it's getting better.
It's getting better, guys. For those of you who do not know Elvira, she is. I like to call her the queen of peptides. All right, she is the injectable peptides. You would have to speak to no other than Elvira Wright. She is the one. She is the one. Okay, she's a pharmacist. She's an esthetician. She's a trichologist. She's the whole package. She's the whole thing. You know. And she just recently sold her clinic, and now she's moving into new things. She's doing greater things. Now she's moving into education and other stuff. And I can't wait to see what the future holds for Elvira. It's amazing. Elvira, tell us a little bit about you, where you come from, your background, and what got you into the business trichology, the trichology business.
Well, I'm a pharmacist by trade, but since I moved to United States, I call myself anti-drug pharmacist because
I love that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Because when I got my education from Russia and Ukraine, we study herbology or pharmacognosy, what we call, for 3 years. It's mandatory. When people come to our pharmacy back there in these countries, they ask. They give you symptoms and ask for advice. Then you don't have to go to the doctors. And we start with something really mild, like some herbal-based medicine, or we advise to go some non-traditional, here called non-traditional type of treatment, like UV light or the optimal UV light, not what you get from the sun, or some massage therapy or lymph drainage or something like that. So people was coming for healing, not just to put a band-aid. Here, when I move, I realize if I will be like, let's say Pfizer CEO, what I'm going to be developing, the drug that cost $1,000 and people take the pill and a cure for life, or it's cost $10, but people take for the rest of the life. So all I realized here, it's surgery or the pills, and it's all about money, not about to heal the person. And they also like to treat, okay, I'm a doctor for head, I'm a doctor for the stomach, I'm a doctor for the kidneys, and it's not holistic approach. It's not what I learned when I was going back to my school. So when
I like what you just mentioned. Forgive me for interrupting you, but
Sure.
it's amazing whenever we talk about the views in terms of medicine and holistic approach to health. The Western view against the European view, and it's quite different. It's quite different because on med school and in college, we're taught we're put this. What do you call this? The use of for the horse,
the blinds.
Yeah, the blinds. Okay, and we are going to college and we get these blinds on, and we are limited to a type of knowledge. And when we get out of college, we see that the world is so much bigger, and there is so much knowledge of things that, for some reason, are not yet studying in so many colleges. So it's amazing. And when I get to speak with someone like Elvira, with the type of background, the way that she was taught, and when she comes here to America, and she sees the how things are different here, and I like it. I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
I understood why the pharmacists here are not open to anything holistic, same as the doctors, because the education has been conducted by the pharmaceutical companies.
True.
Yeah, and it's why the money, again, it's all about money.
I mean, they pay for the research, they pay for the books that comes out for college students. So,
and unfortunately, a lot of time it's a bias. They fudge the studies, the end of the studies. They can fudge whatever that's more will be suitable for that specific company. How many drugs already has been off the market because whatever they show the data is not correct, and they did FDA did investigation and then
and they pulled the drug after they made a couple $1 trillion. So
yeah, absolutely. So when I got my license here, I started to work, but I was not happy, absolutely. So I started to look what else I can do. And I graduated as a fellow in American Academy of Anti-Aging, and I've got my fellowship there, and I was board certified, where I, together with other doctors, nurses, dietitians, and everything, we study how you can heal the body. Of course, I was really limited what I can do as a pharmacist, but still I was able to help a lot of people, even through the supplementation for the peptide therapy or through non-traditional type of approach to go back to health and wellness with the lifestyle modifications. So when the peptide course came as a option as a modules in A4M, American Academy of Anti-Aging, I jumped in because actually Dr. Kavinson, he's a professor from former Soviet Union. He developed peptide therapy back in 1986, and on Allied power to be in USSR was using this. It was kind of like the golden way for them to stay healthy and for longer years. So he developed this, but he was only able to do oral, is my understanding. Usually he was the Kavinson type of peptides is only oral type of peptides. You still can purchase from some companies overseas, not here. And I learned about this, and I knew, I'm super interested. So let me take these courses. And from now on, I was hooked up. And I saw, okay, how can I do it? How can I get away from my pharmacist career? And I realized I can do hair restoration. All right, for me to do hair restoration protocol, I have to have some esthetician degree and trichologist. So I have to go through trichology education and get my esthetician license, and I open my medical spa. That's how I ended up to be in this type of field, and I never regret.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
So,
you're going to say some business.
Yes, we have a lot of questions, obviously.
Yes, we haven't started.
It's like, can you explain to us, and the viewers too, what do you mean by peptides? How do they work in the body, and where do you extract them from?
Would you like me to start my presentation? I actually have a whole presentation.
Okay.
That would be even better. Hate your answer, Miss.
Okay. I want to understand every single thing. Let's see.
Oh yeah, you will.
All right, so let's start it. I call this presentation Unlocking the Healing Power of Peptides, a journey into revolutionary therapy for human health, because I personally believe we can accomplish this type of goal, have a human health using power of peptides. So it's a little bit about me And let's dive in a little bit on the introduction. In order to understand how peptide therapy working, and for you, you probably know this information, but I would like to explain very briefly for our viewers. So the body composition, the main ingredients is going to be of our body is going to be protein, which is a building block for all living organisms, not just for the humans, but also for animals, insects, birds, fish, and so on. And if you take the protein and clip separately every single pearl with an enzyme called protease, you get amino acids as a separate single unit. And this is crucial to understand about that. So protein consists of link of different amino acids, and we have enzyme called protease that clip each amino acid separately. Also, we have fat, and a lot of people think fat is bad, but it's not. If you think about our brain consists of 60%, approximately 60% of fat, and each cell has a lipid or fatty type of surrounding to prevent consistency and integrity of the cell. So, and a lot of hormones it's a raw material for hormones like progesterone, testosterone, estrogen, vitamin D, cortisol. They all have the basics raw material comes from the fat. Fat is good. The problem is what kind of fat. And fat is, again, it's a complex molecules. And if you use enzymes called lipase, you clip fat into separate fatty acids. And of course, we have carbs that it's a preferred energy for a lot of cells. And carbs as a big molecules, it's a complex carbohydrates, it's a small molecules, it's going to be simple sugars, and we can achieve this by using enzyme called amylase. So let's go into the peptides 101 with amino acids. So amino acids, we have 20 amino acids, 9 of them essentials, meaning you have to consume this with your food. Body cannot produce amino acids inside using raw material. You can see which amino acids considers to be essential. It's isoleucine, histidine, leucine, methionine, lysine, phenylalanine, tryptophan, threonine, and valine. Though those who's in the sport field or in a physical type of intensive exercise might recognize some amino acids from essential one. It's isoleucine and leucine and valine. 3 of them called branched chain amino acids, and it's a lot of time it has been used in different protein shakes to help to build the muscles. And non-essentials, it's 11 of them. They are non-essentials because you can, like if you child building the Lego, using the Lego building some dinosaur or a car or a robot. So that's the same body can use some raw material inside of the body and build this non-essential amino acid. So it's kind of converted with each other, whatever the body needs. So what is peptides? Peptides, it's a naturally occurring, meaning we produce in our body. It's not ingested from outside, not inserted from outside. We naturally produce, and they become bioregulators in our body. It's a chemicals they use has master control function. So they help to produce hormones. They help to use for cell signaling, like one cell signal to another, what to do, how to do, when to do. And at this point, we have more than 7,000 naturally occurring peptides identified, and probably more coming in the pipeline. And by definition, and used to be peptides are short chain of amino acids. It should be less than 100 amino acids, less than 100. That's going to be peptides. Unfortunately, in 2019, FDA arbitrarily decided to change this definition, and it's supposed to be less than 40 amino acids. If it's above 40 amino acids linked together, they call this protein or biologics. While they do that, the FDA have done this, I believe, because in this case, some peptides that have been produced by compounding pharmacy, they are prohibited to produce from now on. That's the.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Yeah, because it's not making big money for the big pharma.
Yep. So this is kind of graphic representation, amino acid. They have some amino group, carbohydrate group, kind of linked together with each other. A few amino acids is going to be peptides, which is a bunch of peptides. It's created protein molecule. And as we know, protein is the basic for our life. Hormones are protein, enzymes protein, muscles protein, skin protein, everything is protein, almost everything. All right, so what I would like to emphasize how peptides can be used in our body. It's again, master regulators. They regulate almost every process in the body, and it also has a tissue-specific effect. What do I mean by that? If you take, let's say, aspirin, right? You have some headache, you took aspirin. Aspirin helps with the headache, so it's pinch the nerve signaling to your brain. Plus, it's also help your blood to be less sticky, so it's affect platelets. Also, if you eat too much or even a little bit, you have sensitive stomach or stomach sensitive, you will get some ulcers. You start to develop some ulcers. This is a systemic effect. It's not tissue specific. You take something like majority of pharmaceuticals, they are not tissue specific, they actually whole body specific, and that's one of the reasons we have a lot of side effect of a lot of medication, because it's not target specific organ or specific system. Improve and modulate hormones. Peptides done this wonderfully. It's help with immune function, healing, and metabolic activities. And you will see when we go through specific peptides, which one will be in which category. So examples in general, peptides could be anticoagulants. They have some antimicrobial properties, antioxidants. They use as anti-obesity supplements. I can send you supplements. It's just adjuvant therapy. Improve brain and cognition function. They're wonderful, especially BPC 157 for gut and digestion, help to reduce inflammation, help to recover from injuries, improve athletic performance, of course, help with hair restoration and overall anti-aging. So I want to give some examples, like oxytocin. This is a 9 amino acid. When I put in 9, it's an amino acid has been linked together. This is considered to be a hormone that we have, female and male, have produced this in the hypothalamus in your brain. Especially female get increased production of oxytocin during the childbearing period and after the delivery of child, because this hormone is responsible for bonding, for caring, for nurturing, and so on and so forth. So interesting enough, when people hug each other for, I think it's like 3 minutes, female, male, whatever it is, sex, they have increased production of oxytocin in the hypothalamus. So hugging for minimum, like I think maybe 1 minute, 3 minutes. Don't hold it for that.
I call it the love hormone. The love hormone.
It's a love hormone, absolutely. And some compounding pharmacy has been produced oxytocin to create some fidelity for wives. So when the husband goes to some long distance trip, they ask, they're supposed to spray nasally oxytocin spray, and it's increased hormone oxytocin, and men become more truthful to their wife. The study has been done. The study has been done.
Oh my God.
So they had a woman who, so there was a study of men, and the placebo group that doesn't have spray, they have saline spray. Another one was the oxytocin spray. And the beautiful woman, same woman, was approached to each of them, and they see how the men react. The men who has oxytocin spray, they didn't have this kind of arousal. They're more faithful to their wives or girls. Wow. So that's really called the how you call that? They even call specific spray kind of like faithful spray or something like that. Yeah.
I heard about that study. And the first time I heard about it, I was like, is that even possible?
Yeah. Yeah. So
that the industry will go, to, oh my God.
As long as the man is compliant, it's good. Or even if you together, you actually enhance your romantic relationship using your this kind of nasal spray for both of you, or just for men if he's not so compassionate or not so touchy. Sometimes some men are not.
Okay, we need to dig into this, and we need to do revitalize.
Yeah.
Ladies, now you know, if your man is not warm enough, use oxytocin.
I love this stuff. Okay, where can we buy this? Prescription or over the counter?
No, it has to be prescription. It's
like it's the love hormone. Why we need
the love hormone?
The capitalism is getting over love too.
Unfortunately, there is still some. It's not overdosing, but when you push some oxytocin, it's also called the vasopressin. It's another hormones, and it's retained in the water. So it has to be follow some guidelines and some restrictions. Okay. So it's not that simple. Insulin, I mentioned it. It's 51 amino acids. It used to be considered to be peptide. Now it has to be moved to biologics. But I just want to mention it because insulin is very familiar to a lot of people. Yeah. Glutathione, we produce glutathione. It's our master antioxidant. It's really very crucial to have, especially when you're under the weather or you exposed to some kind of radiation or any kind of harsh condition, any kind of ELF, EMLF bombardment. If you're sensitive to that, glutathione helps a lot to alleviate or eliminate free radicals. And glutathione, it's only 3 amino acids linked together.
I love glutathione. It's my go-to. It's my go-to super antioxidant, Absolutely. I love that stuff. Particularly for people with alopecia areata, alopecia totalis, alopecia universalis. I mean, if you have immune-related issues, I mean, that's for me, that's the go-to. That's the go-to.
It's also really important to sometimes when we have to remember in an acute situation, it's good to get outside glutathione, but with anything outside, you suppress your own production. So you have to bear in mind with the same with the oxytocin spray. So it doesn't, you cannot use all the time because it could be counterbalance effect. With the glutathione, it's much more, if you have some acute conditions, yes, please, by all means, but it also could be suppress own production as well. The easiest way to do this way, it's if you take N-acetylcysteine as a supplement, 1 gram per day, in a week, you will have glutathione production equal to what you need for your body. N-acetylcysteine. Again, it has been prohibited sell by itself. So lots of companies started to go together and combine with a different type of nettle or some other ingredients, vitamin C, for example, to help to overcome this kind of prohibition. So pure NAC is sometimes difficult to find in some nutraceutical companies. That has been removed from Amazon last year. They just completely prohibited. Yep. Let's talk about ghrelin, and it's called it's 28 amino acid and has a nasty name, hunger hormone. It's regulate our food intake and fat utilization. It's also regulates some growth hormone production. So ghrelin is the hunger hormone, and unfortunately, MSG, monosodium glutamate, stimulate ghrelin a lot in the brain. So that's the reason. And a lot of companies add MSG to the pre-packed food, or even restaurant use MSG especially chain restaurants, because they would like people to come back and eat more often. MSG stimulate ghrelin production in your brain, hunger hormone. All right.
Who wouldn't know that we're being manipulated as we eat just to keep eating more?
Absolutely. All right. So let's talk about specific application. So this is one of my favorites, called CGC ipamorelin. It's CGC 125 technically and / ipamorelin. It's a combination of 2 peptides, and together they increase human hormone production. After age 30, so before age 30, we have pretty good growth hormones because body is developing, still continue to develop, muscles, brain, bones, everything. And after 30, it's drastically started to decline.
Exactly.
And these peptides, what it helps, it stimulates your own growth hormone production in one end, and the other end, it also stimulates the receptors. They become more sensitive to growth hormone that you have. So the benefits, you can see it, it's cardiovascular system improvement, increased muscle mass. And in this case, that's what usually people ask me to prescribe. They want to lose weight. So they inject once a day. And it's increased the muscle mass, which burn fat. So it helps to build the muscles and the bones. Of course, it's increased sex drive. They start to have more
energy.
It helps with the sleep. It's improved cognition.
True.
It's also improved recovery and repair from injury. This one is very tricky peptides. You have to cycle, and there are different, what I mean cycling, you cannot take every day. You have to cycle like 5 days, 2 days off, 5 days, 2 days off. Otherwise, you overstimulate your receptor or you deplete your own hormone production. So you have to know how to use it. It's a subcutaneous injections, and another prerequisite, no sugary stuff within 2 hours, 1 hour before, 2 hours after injection. It's better to inject before you go to bed because growth hormone production happen overnight, and this is the perfect time to do it. So no,
and that way you won't be eating the sugar.
Yeah, no sweet snack before you go to bed.
Exactly.
I have a question for you, if you don't mind, please. So when a person comes to you, they have symptoms that you have a questionnaire, or they tell you what their symptoms are, and then you will prescribe for them what peptide that will help them, or how do you differentiate? What criteria you use?
If people don't know what they want, we just go overall and see what they goal, because sometimes they don't need to lose weight through the peptide therapy. It's maybe not suitable, but some people just go, like I have some athletes who, by the way, this is against using on the elite athletes. They prohibited, so they develop they have on a blood test, and they can.
So a person will come to you with certain symptoms, like I'm fatigued, like I can't sleep at night, I lost my libido, all this, then you will think that, oh, maybe this peptide will help you. This is how you kind of...
we try to figure out what it is, but I try to dive deeper to see what the cause. Maybe they have adrenal fatigue. Even if I started to give this one, unless a fixed adrenal fatigue, I cannot help. Maybe thyroid is low. Maybe testosterone is low. In this case, I will give kisspeptin. In this case, it helps to boost their own testosterone production. So it's really kind of playing the detective.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is my favorite one. This is favored by far, called BPC 157, which stands for Body Protection Compound. I use on myself. I use on my dog. This one you never overdose. You can bath yourself. You can drink. You can inject. Whole vial, 5 milliliters versus just 15 units, like 0.5 milliliters. It's absolutely wonderful. We produce this in gastric juice. It's how our gastric lining keeps itself healthy. If you think about, we have a high concentration of gastric juice, plus we have some enzymes there in the gut lining, in the gut area, plus we have bile coming, so everything all harsh and irritating because it needs to digest the food, right? It's coming. So and same happening to the gut itself. Besides the gut lining, it's also constantly produce BPC 157 that helps to protect the gut itself. And it's absolutely amazing what could be done for people who has gastrointestinal issues, including Crohn's disease, including IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And my favorite, what a lot of people ask me to prescribe, it's for promote wound healing in skin, musculature, bones, ligaments, tendons. When somebody injured, and you will see in the next slide what happened to my coworkers. And we injected, and you can see the before and after. It's absolutely amazing. If you remember, 70 to 80% of serotonin come from the gut, so it also helps to overcome depression. People have taken antidepressant. Instead of taking that, we need to give BPC 157 that helps to produce serotonin naturally from the stomach, because it's heal the stomach and improve the serotonin production. Help also with autoimmune disease. It has anti-inflammatory properties, and help with the brain as well, because it has neuroprotective properties.
So if a person has gut issues like IBS or IBM, then that will help, you're saying?
Yes, and in this case, I recommend not injections. I recommend capsules.
Okay.
Have to go through yeah.
And this is prescription too. A person has to.
It's also kind of, it's considered to be non-prescription because it's capsules.
That's what.
But you still have to have account established at the compounding pharmacy.
Got you.
That's what the problem is. Yeah. All right. So this is Sean. He was actually my work for me, and his sprained ankle after football play. You can see day number 1.
Oh yeah.
We did cold. And this is an injection. We did injection twice a day. So we inject right away in the morning and the evening. It's a second day. And this is the day 3. And this is after 1 week. We only did 6 injections, but you can see how big difference it is.
Wow, that's a week.
It's
usually, I mean, when you sprain your ankle like that, usually that will take about a month.
And yeah, he still have some pain and all.
Yeah. But I mean, the inflammation.
Inflammation is gone. He actually could even bear some weight on that. So this is by far, it's my favorite.
Oh my God.
Right.
And how are you going to hook up with this, Elvira?
We'll talk about that in the end of the show.
I want that.
Yeah. And this is what I apply for my lips when I have this.
Can you ship it for us? Like, can be shipped out, or it has to be in your clinic?
Because I only can do within Florida, because doctor who cover me, he has license in Florida only.
Perfect. Then I live in Florida. I will.
Canada?
You're lucky.
Canada is become even more difficult. There's some pharmacy who ship to Canada, and Carrie, I might help you out through the people who does. I need to check on that one. I need to check.
I would love to learn more. I have celiac disease and psoriasis, so to have just. And right now too, I'm premenopausal, so to have some support.
Yeah, that will be right in your alley.
Yeah. Right in my alley.
BPC 157 will be really, really helpful. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, GHQ copper. That
is the famous hair.
Yeah, hair and skin. Yeah. And when I was reading, it's actually the first peptide. If you cut your skin somewhere and it's injury, it's rushed to the healing rescue. That's the one that comes to first one. So it stimulates the collagen synthesis.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And copper is also have antimicrobial properties. I don't remember if you saw some advertisement about the spoon. When you just under the weather, it's special, developed this kind of like a spoon looking, made from copper. You put under the tongue, and it helps to kill all this bacteria here going in the sinuses. So it has some really good data how GHQ copper can kill some microbes, especially during the season. That really help. And you can see it's due to the high conductance property which disrupt the electrical balance in the microbial cells. So it
Oh,
doesn't kill.
that's why a lot of people I hear I'm doing a copper detox.
Yep.
Oh, that's where it's coming from.
That we have to, if it's detox, have to be careful because copper and zinc has very delicate balance. It has to be also monitor that as well.
Okay.
So you can see
that's a 2-to-1 ratio, right? Zinc to copper.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe you could like humor me or help me make understanding of this. So, I have a rare blood cancer called essential thrombocythemia JAK2, and I have 4 hematologists, and 2 of my hematologists are from Europe, and they have me wear copper to monitor my alkaline levels. And so essentially, if my skin starts to turn green or it starts to smell like a copper penny, it means that my alkaline levels are off kilter, and I have to monitor my salt intake, my protein, all like I have a list. Now, with that. Explain to me.
It's explained.
Fall into it.
Well, technically speaking, that since whatever you put on the skin, even as a bracelet, it's going to be absorbed through the skin. Even if it's a small amount, still going to got into the systemic, into the blood system. And apparently it helps to, I don't know the mechanism exactly, but I have to dig a little bit deeper on that, but I just know the copper goes systemically in your bloodstream, and it's help you to go through that balance, which is amazing. I really like to learn more about myself. Yeah, it's going to be related to that. Yeah. To the copper component.
And I mean, you have to think about, the particularly that conductance property that has copper. I mean, we use it to wire everything. Everything from our houses, everything has copper. But when we see what it does in the body, and particularly to rebalance those charges, is amazing. Because if you think closely, our body, we are subjected to a lot of electromagnetic fields, and we don't ground properly. And of course, copper is going to be able to help you conduct those electrons properly out of the body. So yeah, I'm a copper fan.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's some cream, compounding pharmacy making some cream with the BPC 157 together with copper, that GHQ copper, and just helps a little bit to keep it nice and young. And for hair regrow, has been used as a foam, GHQ copper together with zinc thymol in it. I think it's in the next slide is going to be about that. And it's a foam or solution you apply. Different companies use different type of system delivery, but it's all topical. And look at this, when you mentioned, Carrie, about cancer, it has anti-cancer effect as well. Yeah, well,
I was told it helps balance and monitor your alkaline levels because cancer can't thrive in an alkaline state.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm told to wear it all the time. I haven't been wearing my copper bracelets lately, but
our body usually acidic, and it's highly recommended for everyone in the morning. Get this Amazon paper, pH paper, and check your urine. If it's below 6, you're really really acidic, and you're predisposed to different issues, including cancer. We produce cancer every single day. You and me all produce. It's just the immune system keep one cells at the bay, while if it's immune system is not really where it should be. With the celiac disease, it's unfortunately, yes, it's not strong. That will allow some cancer cells to proliferate. We have immortality genes, and unfortunately, cancer cells use it fully, and we as a whole human, we don't. So I would love to reverse that process. Maybe one day we will.
Hey, that's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for.
And I closely monitor my urine regularly just by the color and making sure I'm always hydrated. And even my kids are like, I'm always monitoring their urine too. I'm like, stay hydrated. And like, let me.
I also will use with a stick. I would use with a stick, like pH stick.
Yeah.
Like small paper, that helps as well.
Yeah, I've used those from time to time, but I've now started to, because I've been doing it so often, I'm aware of the smell, the color, the density, like if there's bubbles in it, too much bubbles. Like, I don't know. My kids laugh. They're like, "You're obsessed with pee, Mom." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But
Yeah, but this is amazing. It's amazing. You now by experience, you know by knowing from experience. It's
yeah.
absolutely wonderful. I love it. I love
Well,
it.
being celiac too, you monitor like when I became, well, you're born with celiac, you don't know you have it. When I finally got officially diagnosed, they told me to monitor like, hey, if your stools look like this, it's probably because you didn't get nutrients. You're gonna have to amp up your I'm saying synthetics, your supplements, or if it looks like this, you're gonna have to eat more of that, or you're gonna. So I don't know, I just became a habit, and I know a lot of celiacs and people with Crohn's as well monitor their stools and their urine, just because, you know, it makes sets you up for success not to have high symptoms if you get a reaction, right? So
Exactly.
yeah.
Well, this is kind of example of hair restoration we've done for this gentleman. It's androgenic alopecia. Of course, we done some PRP twice on him, and in between we did zinc thymolene with the GHQ copper daily, and this is result before and after in 60 days.
Wow.
And we do androgenic alopecia treatments. We do androgenic alopecia and alopecia areata. That's the only two we can address. Same, this is Fred, and we've got again topical application after PRP injections. Same, you can see the difference. And what is interesting,
That is amazing.
Zinc thymolene also help to bring the color of the hair back a little bit. If you notice, it's kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So can you do all the rest? I say, well, I don't know. I will be happy with what I already have here.
Well, that looks great.
Thank you. So zinc thymolene, it's 9 amino acids peptide, and it's produced by thymus. Thymus, it's beyond your sternum over here. And this is the gland is responsible for your immune system, for T cells production specifically. And it has been discovered that topical treatment help over 6 months to grow is just without any additional treatment, just by itself, topical treatment. You see in 60 days, because we did some PRP, so you can see the difference in that case. It's improved endogenous hair pigmentation, as I mentioned it, by stimulating melanogenesis in gray or graying hair. And another peptides related to hair restoration is PTT-DBM, which stands for protein, transduction, domain fused, disheveled binding motif. Long name, amazing result.
PTD. DBM, that's it.
Yeah. And the companies usually produce have this together with valproic acid, because it has been discovered on mice that it has much better results if they use together PTT-DBM with valproic acid after microneedling. So we usually send, after the procedure, we usually apply PTT-DBM right away when it's still open, and we send them in the protocol where they use twice a week, no more often, just twice a week, derma roller, and they apply PTT-DBM with valproic acid after.
Nice. I'm a fan of microneedling, so you know that already, Elvira. So.
Yes, and that's really helped. So this one is client. We just to show, we did exosome injections, which is actually my preferred method. It compare between PRP, platelet-rich plasma, because it will be it's not as standardized compared to exosome. People can be, some patients could be on some anticoagulants, some has low platelets in the beginning, some has some medication. And in this case, the blood could be not optimal for them. I mean, blood is not optimal to get really good quality plasma. So
that's something that a lot of people don't understand. You know, they believe that PRP is, you know, the holy grail for hair loss, and it isn't. I mean, it's a great tool. It's a great system, but we need to consider what's in the blood, because without the proper nutrition, without having a rich nutrient blood, it's going to be very difficult to have great results with PRP.
Yes. Yeah. So I like exosomes in that case, again, injections. I actually like to talk sometimes to representative and see if they can do just microneedling with exosomes. They only recommended injections so far, but I'm curious if it's possible to do just microneedling.
I'm going to give you the heads up. Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah. And I think the bigger number, the better, because for this fellow, we use 450 billions, high number.
Yeah.
So this company has 450. They stop actually using this because it's super expensive, become really expensive. So now they only have 100 billions, 75 billions, 25 and 12.5 billions available. In this case, you have to do a few microneedlings, not just one.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move to another peptides, which is called epithalum. And it's produced in your brain. And what it does, it's a really, truly anti-aging type of epithalum. It only has peptides, and this only needs to be used twice a year. It's like a cycle. You use for a month to 2 months, and you repeat in the second times in the 6 months. So it's, as I mentioned, the best anti-aging. And what it does, if you know the DNA, each time the cells divide, telomeres, that is it's the end of, there's a telomeres at the end of DNA. And each time it's become shorter, shorter, shorter. And when it's completely to nothing, cells stop divide. And no more coming back the new cells. So it's the division of the organ started to slow down in general if it's more and more cells stop dividing. So
this is how they quantify your biological age, not your chronological age.
Yeah, by the length of telomeres.
By the length of the telomere.
Yeah, and epithalum affect the telomerase activity, which is the enzymes, and it helps to not just to stop division of or slashing off the telomeres. It's actually helped to increase telomeres.
This is how you reverse, and this is anti-aging. You said that.
It is anti-aging, yeah. So technically, it's increased lifespan. It's really helped to sleep as well. It's also increased conversion of thyroid hormones from T4 to T3, and it helps with the energy. It technically, you take any single aspect of human functioning, epithalum has a positive effect, and it's only 4 amino acids in the chain, and it has such a profound effect on the human body.
And if I'm not wrong, since they are amino acids, I don't see there's a lot of side effects if used properly in the proper amount. Is this right?
Yeah. I'm going to talk at the end about this.
Oh, cool.
Bizarre's eager. She's eager.
Yeah. All right. This is one of the beautiful peptides name called kisspeptin. With a kiss.
So yeah, why they didn't name the other ones nicely?
I was not in the committee to award names. Otherwise, I will get something fancy and nice. It's produced in hypothalamus, some part of the forebrain, and it stimulates your own gonadotropin release hormone, and it helps also increase your endogenous testosterone. And this is when the people try to conceive, females and males, and they failure. I recommend to use kisspeptin for both parts, because study has been shown that kisspeptin helps to improve the how you call this, the conceiving rate.
Okay.
Especially if the guys, sometimes guys use testosterone to, if they have a low testosterone, not just for as an anabolic hormone, but because they have a low hormone, there's no zest for life, no any kind of energy, nothing. They started to use exogenous testosterone, and unfortunately, it gives you what they ask, but unfortunately, spermatogenesis, the amount of sperms in the count, become really low. And in this case, if they're still in the age where they would like to procreate, they have less chances to make the counterpart pregnant. In this case, a lot of doctors recommend Clomid, another medication, but I prefer peptides where there's technically no side effects. I call and peptide is kisspeptin. Again, it's also help for females, enhance the ovulation and eggs implantation. So it works on both sex, females and males. And it also looks like they will research and suppress the metastasis of some cancers, not blood type of cancers, but solid tumors. Again, it's preliminary study. It's I will not.
But it's something that they're working on. They're looking at it, and that is great information right there.
Wow. Yeah, anything will help, right? So you like to use it in many cases. But I love this, and it's beautiful peptides, even with the name on. This one I was using myself. You have to cycle again. You cannot use all the time because you overstimulate your own receptors. It's DSIP, called Delta Sleep Induced Peptides. That's the abbreviation. And it's neuromodulators and natural somnogenic peptide. So it's not only help to sleep, especially if you travel in different time zones. I'm sometimes scared with my peptide. Taking melatonin, I just use the DSIP injections because I don't have little small injections. It's an insulin type of syringes, so it's not the big one. It's easy to do it, and it's really help you to jump into the new zone really quickly, and it helps also reduce some pain reduction. It's also help stimulate testosterone. We all need a little bit zest for life.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, PT141. Oh my God, I have some interesting stories about that. Actually, the pharmaceutical company started to use bromelanotide. That's the generic name, bromelanotide. And the name PT141 comes, I'm not sure where it's come from. It stimulates melanocortin receptors, but what it does, it's affect your brain, some part of the brain, and improve sexual desire. And it's really worked very well on females because there's no any type of like men has Cialis and Viagra. Females doesn't have anything stimulation like this. And Cialis and Viagra works through the stimulation of and production of nitric oxide and increase the blood flow to organs. So it's more on that level. It's interesting enough, PT141 can combine together with the Cialis and with other stimulating type of medication because it works on your brain versus on the dopamine receptors rather than on different type of area. So not on nitric oxide, nothing. So, and I have a couple who they living apart. He's in US, she's in England, and she was coming for a long vacation, and he asked to order it. I ordered. He said, 3 days we didn't get it out from the bed. First of all, they were hungry. Secondary, they had that, and I said, "Oh my God, we just want to eat it and go back to the bed." So it's I really actually.
The love Olympics. They love Olympics.
Somebody paid attention to women. It's only men. Like,
but true.
Yeah, finally.
I mean, it is necessary to have tools for both. Not just for men, but for women as well.
Why it's just for men? I don't get it.
I mean, no, but seriously, I mean, whenever we talk about women who are getting into menopause, that's one of the issues that many couples find. There's medication for men, but what is for women? And it's hard, in building relationships, and that this type of treatments can help so many couples out there, and it's amazing.
Right.
It's amazing.
I want to warn about this one because not everybody can tolerate. Honestly, when we discover Oh, no, that's not about this one. It's about other one. This one, it could be some little small side effect. Some, not everybody can tolerate because it has a little bit nausea, just a little bit. So, and which is good. If you take before dinner, you don't want to eat dinner. So you kind of go on an empty stomach. And so that's in like,
is
nice
wine allowed?
effect. Nice, but not everybody react. I do react personally. Some people don't. So it's very personalized, but it's just a little bit.
Is wine allowed or is not allowed? I'm just kidding.
So this one, we actually wanted to open this.
I remember that one.
I remember that one.
the clinic that says like sunless tan, called melanotan. It's also similar to bromelanotide. It works on melanogenesis receptors.
Okay.
And you have to still expose a little bit to sun, just a little bit. So this is my husband before and after. So you can see he was trying to blend with the locals when we went to Oman. So we visited Oman, and he has his the beautiful hat. But unfortunately, melanotan has most nauseated type of issues in a lot of people, and we don't want people to drive. Okay, they got the injection and they drive and they got nausea and they get some car accident. So we just scratch.
I mean, he looks so tan in that picture. He almost looks Puerto Rican.
Yeah, he's a white boy. He
actually look more Omani. Since he's an Oman, he blends in pretty nice.
And it also helps with the weight loss a little bit, and it also helps with sexual desire. It has some sexual desire enhancement. All right, so point to consider: prescribed as injections, capsules, nasal spray, topical application. Generally, it's considered to be grass, which stays generally safe status. Generally registered as safe. That's what it is. Generally registered as safe. Side effects are still possible. That's what I mentioned. There's this, especially like GHQ copper. I do injection myself in tummy area, and it has a little bit pain at the site of the injection. It could be a little bit like little small inflammation, not inflammation, like redness at the site of injection. So it's still possible.
Why do you do it on your tummy? Why in the tummy area, not in?
That's the preferable injection for majority of peptides if you do injection. If you use for BPC7 for injury, it goes close to the injury. For Sean, we inject right where the main things happen, and we just go around and inject. So each time people has injury, the BPC 157 is the only one that goes close to site of the injury. Okay. If you just do overall, like Carrie, for you, for like overall health and wellness, it's preferred to go in the tummy area.
Okay.
Again, lots of peptides should be cycling. We apply some protocols, like LL337 is antimicrobial. It's super powerful peptide. It has to be done 2 weeks and stop completely. Not otherwise, you can go into some not really toxic effect, but not pleasant effect that you don't want it. And I want to also bring attention to reputable sources must. How the peptides made, I didn't put this in the slide over here. They take amino acid and a link and the link and the link to until they produce the amount of amino acids in the chain needed. But between they add a new amino acid, they have to clip because it's a amino acid and COH amino acid and a COH acid, carboxylic acid. They try to make a circle. The most stable shape in the universe consists to be like a circle or a shape, the oval shape. So they try to connect together. In order to prevent, before they add a new amino acid, they clip with a specific amino acid. And if it's not from a reputable source, it's they have some hepatotoxicity. So it has to be the amino acid, the peptides that actually said not for the. A lot of sources say like not for human consumption, for research only. they're much cheaper, but this is one of the reason they're cheaper, because they don't use a proper cleansing. Because after all these amino acids has been clipped together in a chain of needed length, the acid that has been used as a clipper has to be cleansed out. And
so is there a concentration, like a peptide is, let us say, 20 amino acids, right? Is there a concentration in every vial you use? It is, let us say, 20 of these 20 amino acids or 40 of these peptides? Is there a concentration or just by volume?
Let's say the one of the amino acids is 9 amino acids. So let's say valine, lysine, it's a 1 valine, 1 lysine, 1 citrulline, one of this. So it's a 9 combined in a certain range. And this is a 1 molecule of peptide.
So you inject just 1 molecule of...
No. That's the peptide itself.
Right.
Concentration. Okay, I see. The concentration could be different. There are different concentration for different type of peptides.
Oh, that's my question.
Yeah, like CGC, Pomerelin, the very first one for the weight loss and athletic performance. They have different types. So for men, you can get a little bit stronger. For female, it's a little bit more softer. Gotcha. So BPC usually same. Epithalon usually same. It's kind of more standardized. DSAP usually the same. GHQ copper is the same. Some variations available. Right. Mostly it's kind of standardized what has been accepted by protocols from Peptide Society and the compounding pharmacies.
And each vial you give to a person, I'm assuming that there's no other fillers. It's just pure peptide with the bonding molecule, right?
It's a pure powder peptides, and sometimes it has been delivered in some medium. Sometimes you have to add bacteriostatic water, make it a solution to inject. For cream, it's going to be carrier cream. If it's a foam or solution for hair, spray for hair, it has to be some carrier.
Okay, but the actual peptide, the actual vial, it's pure. That's how.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no other fillers or preservatives or anything in it that
No, that's the reason when it comes usually in a powder, and you reconstitute and put in a refrigerator. Some compounding pharmacy has some preservative in some peptides. I'm not sure. I'm not using these pharmacies, but it's available throughout the country. So there's some possibility that you get some.
It's like, I'm wondering, I feel like this peptide should be the new generation of supplements in a way.
Should be.
Right? It's like, why it is not as famous as, like, say, all these supplements that we buy. I mean, I know there's prescription, but still, like, why it's not widely, people don't know about this.
Liz, I think you and I know the answer to that one.
I'm just stirring the pot. Controversy here a little bit.
A lot of peptides has to be injected, and that's pose some risk. So if you try to buy supplements, it's just orally, and it's like a vitamins consistent.
I mean, you and me and Carrie, all of you guys, even the viewer know, even vitamin D, overdosing of vitamin D can be, and vitamin D is over the counter. Vitamin A is over the counter. And if you inject more than what you need, it is going to be toxic. So it's the same. Do you think it's not the same level of toxicity in a way?
It's much less than if you
compare it to just generally speaking to vitamin D that is over the counter.
I think it's probably will be. I think it's more procedure itself, how you use it as because of the injection rather than itself, the peptide itself. It's the how you inject, because it's everything that when you have to penetrate the skin, it's considered to be some safety issues and possibly liability issues. prescriber.
But again, whenever we talk about peptides, we have to understand that, they are very much tissue target specific, so they're more specific into which tissue targets than regular medications, and that's one of the advantages of it. So yeah, I love peptides.
Yeah.
It's really wonderful. And when I travel, I take with me some. Absolutely.
Yeah, you need to hook me up, and I'm in your state, so we're good.
Elvira, where can people get more information about your clinic, about what you're doing, how they can follow you? And of course, I know that you're working on a course. Where can people find you?
Okay, so if they have specific questions, they can email me, elvira@wrightaesthetics.com. I still have a website, wrightaesthetics.com, where they can see what has been done before we sold. But they can check. I didn't specify a lot of information about different peptides because it's totally different topic that but hopefully if somebody has additional questions, I'm happy to answer. Just email me and say, hey, I was on the hair wire. And again, yes, thank you, Sergio. I'm developing new modules that going to be specifically about peptides, about labs, about hair restoration, about the nutrients, and different procedures could be done for improving the hair.
I know a lot of medical doctors who have med spa would love to get their hands on this, and of course to get the knowledge that you provide, and of course all of us here in the industry and the beauty industry, we love seeing different ways to approach different problems and get a better solution, better quality solution. And definitely I have to say I'm in love with peptides. And folks, you heard it first here at the Hair Wire. Just to give you a heads up. So again, if you want to get in touch with Elvira Wright, just contact to elvira@wrightaesthetics.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, what a great presentation. Thank you. That was, very enlightening.
Oh,
I'm happy that you like it. Yes. Yeah. I didn't include all peptides. There are so many different.
No. I mean, if you were talking about peptides, we can be talking about weeks, if not months, because there's so much information out there. And of course, you're one of the leading experts in this area. So definitely something that you want to get more deep into it. You will need to, of course, get in one of those training programs with Elvira Wright, and of course, and later in the future with the Hair Wire. We hope to have Elvira in our package. So, definitely something that to be considered. Amazing stuff. You guys have any questions? I mean, this is amazing. I'm right now. I'm like,
I actually want to, for example, for trichologists that are listening to us right now, they are not medically professional people, so they cannot inject anything anyway. So but is taking your module will be informative for them, so they know the protocol, and they maybe hire some like physician assistant or a nurse that come to their salon once a week, and that person can deliver the treatment plan. Is this something they can do?
Yeah, absolutely, because it's not just peptides itself. Is going to be microneedling. We're going to cover that, and options for microneedling. It's going to be injections. I'm going to cover that, and about the peptides, and I also will be talking about CBD, so people can establish account and get the CBD. I mean, the trichologist have that options. So there are going to be multiple different pathways they can use it, and even if they would love to do some peptides therapy, and they get some nurse practitioner, for example, to cover them. It's not just about the hair. It's not just a spray. It's not just a foam. It's also overall healing, like for autoimmune disease, or it's going to be some issues that people have that I can add additional peptides that helps people to prepare them to receive the hair restoration procedures to the fullest, and nurture their body so it will be healed much faster. So it's going to be like, I believe it's going to be really good knowledge. Plus, it's going to be some labs done. What will be the optimal labs to look at, and outline about specific ingredients, about nutrients, what it does to you, what to look at, which amino acid is going to, I will be talking about collagen. I will be talking what type of collagens. You remember, Sergio, we did some whole collagen presentation. Yeah. I'm not going to be putting whole collagens, 28 different collagens in the body, but at least some outlines. Do the nutricologists recommend collagen or not? So I believe it's going to be valuable information, and everybody can find something that can use it, even if they cannot inject, for example.
Exactly. No, that's one of the main reasons for me. I mean, to understand the science of it, even though some of us are not going to be able to inject. But if you're working in a med spa, you're working with doctors, I mean, you definitely want to get this in your clinic. And of course, for you, the general public, now that you guys are watching this type of information, you have the knowledge. And of course, you can ask for your doctors about this type of information, about this type of treatment. And of course, look for places that are able to promote this type of treatment plan, which there are not too many, but there are a couple, and you can start with our friend Elvira, right? And she can guide you into this process. So definitely good information. I love this.
I want to just add one more thing that for trichologists who are listening to us, we always say like trichology is the mother of all biology, right? So in a way that you need to learn the systems from inside out, and learning the things that you're talking in your module, it will be like very fascinating for all trichologists. We all need this information, because hair is what we put inside our bodies. That's how hair grows or stays, right?
True.
So yes. I feel your module will be really good, and I will be personally waiting for it.
Yeah, thank you.
I second that.
Well, guys, we have a full hour of video right now. Yeah, a full hour just went by, and we want more. For us, the nerd side of the aisle, we love this. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this piece of information. We wish we could go longer, but unfortunately, I know that many of you need a little ease up on it. But hey, before we go, let me remind you of our summit. The Hairwire Summit is on September 24th. September 24th. Visit our website, thehairwire.com, and of course, get registered. And as soon as we open the ticket sales, grab your tickets right away, guys. Grab your tickets right away. We're going to have an event for general public, for our patrons, and of course for professionals. So, hey, this is going to be one amazing online summit, and we want you to be there, and we hope to see you there. And of course, to our professionals, friends in the industry, this is a must this year. Of all of the training programs that you will be doing, that you have done basically over this year, you need to add this one, because it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be having Elvira with us doing one of our classes. So definitely is a must for everyone. So it's going to be amazing. Carrie, anything you want to add? I mean, we see your face and be like,
I'm taking it all in. This is amazing information. Like, totally geeked out and taking notes. This is a whole new realm for me. And as a hairstylist too, it's good for me to get out of my box too. And this was really great information. I'll definitely be watching for your programs.
Oh, definitely. Biz, anything you want to add before we go?
Just thank you so much, Elvira. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you here, and we want you more.
Oh, yeah. We will see more of Elvira. Definitely about that.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elvira. Thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show, and we'll see you next time. Take care of each other. God bless you. Bye-bye.